Good
Afternoon.
morning. Yeah, exactly. Good
It's
afternoon.
not morning today.
Well, I know it's our afternoon edition of Coffee with the Summerland Kids, but instead it's energy drink and water and whatever the afternoon calls for. So
Heck yeah.
yeah. So it's August 30th. It's a Friday. It's currently 73 and 73 in Summerland. Beautiful afternoon, and this is episode 105 of Coffee with the Summerland Kids. I just had a little morning. The mission today was drop off the generator in Farmington, New Mexico, which is about 90 miles from so good hour and a half drive. And my buddy took us a little more you know maybe it's 30 minutes more or but it is a beautiful drive. We're up to the Rocky Mountains, and down there in New Mexico it's more, I would say, more arid, more Santa Fe, New Mexico, where definitely a more desert atmosphere. It does flow through their town as well. So essentially the same river that we have here. And that's cool. They're having, there's some late things that are happening. And some of the, I think, Native American folks are some of their water that was somehow cut out. So that way they can take care of their farm, perhaps to pay so much cost. I'm not exactly sure the details on that, but it is currently an ongoing full page news in their local newspaper down there today, we noticed. And the thing we noticed on the way back is we felt the air and the changes in the climate. I was like, well, that's $100,000 more because it feels so much cooler up here. Just the coolness of the air where we're at up here versus their heat, and everybody had over there. So that's one thing we noticed driving through the neighborhoods, and Farmington had a swamp cooler on their roof. So maybe it's a little more like where you're at.
Definitely. I guess up in the mountains, the air is definitely a little crisper. You get, shade from the trees, especially if like you're in a nice shady spot. But,
Yeah.
Up in the mountains, there's a lot more trees. There seems to be a lot more water, a lot more shady spots, a lot more vegetation. Once you get out there, where it's flat desert, there's nothing that grows. You just got that flat, hard baked desert floor.
Yeah.
So there's no hills to create breezes or lush plants, grasses and deep trees for shade. Yeah. So you went and dropped off your generator, and then you were telling me you were going to a flea market or a swap meet type thing too.
The funny thing is, right away we noticed like everybody, and there was like 3 vendors there, and apparently the vendors we spoke to are like, actually Saturday. So the billboard says Friday, Saturday, Sunday. My friend should have known that Saturday Full Tilt big day, so we kind of missed that. We missed the mark on but we might go next weekend, but we'll figure that out. But to like a local diner just for breakfast, and then we hit a couple thrift stores, things from the thrift stores down there. Cool town. I mean, I like Farmington, big small here in Pagosa. Like, I realized we only have like one block, true little old-fashioned block of stores. But down there in Farmington, they have, let's say 5 blocks or 10 blocks of just side-by-side stores on both. So it feels like, like you'd imagine an old Western town to be. 2 stories, some cases. Just that really cool, with brick and, like that. There was one place we saw that was, and it might have only been like 300,000 or so, like 2 stories, pretty 100 feet deep, big building, 2 stories. And it was a nightclub. Lost money from a divorce, whatever he's selling. So California numbers versus let's say New Mexico numbers are probably Colorado, it's like half price. Like if you sold out of California in your house, or 1.2 million in California for a fixer upper, what it's gotten to be these days, you could take your $1 million and move out to Colorado, or essentially build a house or buy a house for $500,000 in theory, still, and you'd have a home.
It's definitely a lot less expensive living there. I don't know if you're in a new spot, but you're kind of breaking up a little bit.
Okay.
But yeah, definitely the cost in California is, exorbitant, especially on the coast. I mean, inland, Fresno, there's definitely some cities that are affordable. Sacramento area, Orville, of course, is a little bit more affordable. And it's always about, what kind of things are nearby. If you got the ocean, that's going to be a little bit more costly, or if you're near a lake or near some recreation up in the mountains, not so much in the flat desert, but definitely I've seen a few, builds in Arizona and New Mexico. As far as like a lot of times I'll be watching, they got those earth ships, that they put up in the desert. They put up the earth ship. You definitely want to build with that in mind. Like in California, they require earthquake reinforcement. That's regulation, building code, and so definitely, you want to look at the environment building there. You definitely want to have some a little substantial insulation. Something that'll stay cool. You can cool off in the summertime for sure.
I remember in Santa Barbara, at least us in Santa Barbara, not a whole lot of air conditioning. I mean, I don't, at home, I think we just had our old house. It maybe had some old heaters. So maybe it was a natural gas teak style heaters. But we had a potbelly stove. My dad put in a couple of fireplace own, and that was essentially how we got heat in the wintertime. Was, a couple wood burning stove. Did you guys have an electric heater? Do you remember when you were a kid at the old house? Or?
Actually, we had a little stove too, a little fire stove. A little cast iron.
Oh, that's awesome.
Little mini stove that worked real good. Light up just a little fire with one log if it's not too cold. Living on the coast, you definitely don't think you're going to need heat, but it definitely gets cold in the mornings, and during the winter, we definitely go through quite a bit. As far as like at night when the fog comes and the mist settles on the ground there, it definitely gets cold.
Yeah.
And so we would run it,
Little heater. Yeah.
Little potbelly stove, just a little. We would get wood and buy wood by the cord. Sometimes we get it delivered. Sometimes we find some free wood and pick it up. Have our roommate help us chop it up with a saw or whatever. And it was really fun, But it gets annoying after a while, with the smoke and everything.
Right.
Definitely when it's winter around here, we run the little gas furnace or whatever, the wall heater. It's got a little thermostat, heats it up real nice.
That's awesome.
But yeah, definitely. I've never been to Arizona, New Mexico, that area. I have been to Arizona, just on the other side of the river, the Laughlin. Laughlin, Nevada. On the other side of that is, I guess, Arizona. But so New Mexico's up north there by Colorado. I try and imagine the landscaping there, is a lot like, I guess a little bit like the desert area we got here in California.
Yeah. What do they call them? Not willows, but I'm blanking on the name right now. But cottonwoods and a lot of different kinds of oak that are kind of like oak trees. That some of the oaks in Santa Barbara are majestic and really big and tall. Be smaller oaks, and I think it's just because they can't really dig into the ground as much because the ground is tougher for them to dig into. But it is a hardwood. And I asked my friend if he furniture all that stuff, but it does have like the twists and turns, like the stuff behind me. Anyways, I got a few classics here to show you from the hall. This is swingers from like when was this? God, I don't know what year this is, but who's the guys in this? Vince Vaughn, John Favreau, stars essentially of this film Swingers. I don't know if you ever saw this.
Is that a VHS tape?
It's a VHS tape. Yeah, yeah. And then I got another VHS. This is Dine. There's another. It says it's a remarkable class, a work of art, and there's a lot of great. Mickey Rourke, Steve Guttenberg, Kevin Bacon, classic Americana, VHS, and then this one should. The aliens are coming. It's another trippy VHS, and it's from 1980. Tom Mason, Melinda Freestar, and a spine-tingling science. So it puts mankind against the breed of aliens. So that's that. That's 1980. Time VHS, it says. So that's in the 80s, man.
That's a while ago. I can't remember the last time I've even seen a VHS machine. You got one of those somewhere?
Yeah. I got actually a combined. It's a TV, a small in, the built-in VHS and a television set, and
nice.
And instead of spending a bunch of money on boots, I found some classic. I said it might be like Desert Storm, kind of like combat boots, I guess.
Nice. That'll get you hiking around in the mountains.
Yeah, exactly. So these were 20. The sole says Vibram, like a Vibram sole. So what? They don't look like they're really used at all. Barely any tread taken off. Donated them to the store. So it was a few different stores we went to, and sometimes charging no tax. What this one lady said, because it was that benefited the wolves, like actually saving wolves. I said they had like a wolf.
Okay, so like a nonprofit. They had like a nonprofit going and probably filed everything as a donation or whatever. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So she only charged me $1. I got a funny. This is called the Tattooed Road. I think this says it's as a boy he was known as El Rubimp, who made a few pesos leading sailors to his home, a waterfront bordel, racing, romance, thriller, sexy book from probably like. So this was $1.25. So I collect these weird books like this. Anyway, it's always fun to find weird stuff, whether it's a setup or whether it's a thrift store or, of course, the flea market. So you're going to get, because I realized that on this trip, there's so many pickers out there, like we have the estate sales and stuff like that. People will go to these sales, and some of them have flipping in mind. They're gonna buy it and resell it. And I was surprised. We're definitely like, I got a shirt for $1. Some of these tapes were only so very like on the real money mark, not overcharging. So because in Los Angeles, there's actually a couple. I want to say one particular VHS, like a video store, like a traditional video store with, and they're probably selling them like eBay numbers are far higher. They like kind of give you essentially it's like finding a car in the backyard, an older couple who's like, they're appreciative of the 3,000 or whatever they're getting, but then someone's going to buy it and sell it for like 8 or 10 or 12,000 on. So that kind of happens a lot. when you're finding the real finds, of the goods essentially. But sometimes stores are like, hey, we just need the stuff to move, and we're having a dollar sale today or something. So that's always cool. Yeah.
Yeah. The whole thrift store business is it's interesting. There's a few of them right along the way, right on the main strip, and there's a Salvation Army one, which is kind of a big one. It's in the shopping center, next to the pizza place with a pinball machine. I don't know how I know that. But then drive up there on the main drag there, there's two more, right? And I was talking to them, and they do all kinds of different things to get their items, right? So they'll go hit yard sales or estate sales or auctions, or do sometimes they'll go to like locker auctions, or even just going on the free, Craigslist, the free things. They find a lot of things that way, and a lot of times people just come and donate it, because the one person was telling me they get like the runovers or the overruns, right? So say a factory made 2,000 units for sale at wherever Costco, but they only delivered 1,500 per store, so they had all these leftover ones that weren't sold, so they get a discount, on some of these things. There's so many ways to make the money on the side, though, like that. The side hustles, like lawnmowers. You see free lawnmowers all day long, every day.
Wow, really? I mean,
you take a look on there for free lawnmowers, and it'll be, it needs a spark plug, this or that. It doesn't quite run right, for free. And so, okay, if got $20-$30 for the parts, and you know how to fix it, and now it's a great running lawnmower. Those you see all over the place too for $75 or $100. The runners, runs one start. Everything's rebuilt, everything's sharp and clean, ready to go.
That's
so
awesome.
that I've seen people side hustle that. As far as like, 'cause there are so many pickers. We used to go into the Goodwill, I think it was, or maybe the Salvation Army thrift store, and we could go in there and literally check the jewelry and check the sports equipment or the tools area, because we had buyers for certain items, so we would just kind of cherry pick what we were after.
That's cool.
And stuff, but you can find like little knickknacks gold. But now that, it's on the YouTube, everybody's looking at this. Everybody's looking at that. Everybody's looking, I go to the thrift store and do a flip because it's selling on eBay for $10. And it's like you were saying, instead of the mom and dad store, it's okay, $2. Well, eBay $10. Well, there's a little bit of work involved, but you can still make your money. And you see it, even the yard sales and everything. You go to one of these auctions, and it used to be, I've gone to somewhere there's like one or two people or no one there, just the people that are trying to get their locker stuff back for a cheap price or whatever. But then as it got popular, the auction hunter show got popular. You go there and just some random person was there with, I got $500. I want to give it a try.
Oh wow!
Right? See how it is to auction. So it got a little bit more competitive, definitely. Like you were saying, there's a little bit of competition there, of course. As far as like the buyers and sellers.
Totally. I was trying to find Mad Max, and The Spy Who Loved Me, the original, because that's the James Bond film that we remember when we were kids, where James Bond has that low car that goes underwater. I don't know if you remember that.
Right.
It was a badass. The kid, James Bond was just so. Of course, as men, we identify a man who's got all the girls and the cool cars and the action and
all that spy gear.
Yeah, the spy gear, right? He always gets a tour of testing the new weapons and all that fun stuff. So I have every other James Bond film. I think I probably have, I've got probably double editions on every James Bond, but I don't have A Spy Who Loved Me. So VHS DVD, I'll take it. But anyways, and then of course Mad Max, not the Road Warrior. The Road Warrior is the funny one with the guy, he's like, he's almost like a Jason mask. I think before Friday the 13th, punch with the mask. But anyways, but Mad Max, the original, is pretty awesome, and it's just a classic we remember as kids. And it really inspired a friend of mine, Bomber, who I grew up with. Bomber would steal little parts of movies, and then he would incorporate it into his. He had his own slang going, so we didn't really realize it as kids where he was getting all his, pulling it from probably Channel 5, the afternoon movies or something, and then with his.
No, that's hilarious because it does,
Yeah.
It's it's subconscious, maybe unconscious. We watch, we learn, we grow up, we listen to this, little sayings here, little ditties from songs, little mannerisms from TV shows, or even sayings work its way into our language, into our slang, into our persona, our way, our style. Obviously, the big movie stars, the cowboy hat got popular, I imagine, in some sort by the Westerns.
Of course.
The hip hop scene and style and fashion always go together. Art, style, and fashion.
Yeah, I mean, really, when we were in junior high, I think together we were, when breakdancing hit, that stuff really kind of like guys who would dance, all of a sudden we're wearing sweatpants, suits, the matching upper and lower, like the slick.
Oh yeah, the matching shoes, the sweatshirt. Remember the balloon pants, or the what do they call it, the parachute pants? And everybody had to have the parachute pants. That was hilarious. Everybody had some of those.
Yeah, so it was like that whole thing influenced us, and of course hardboard and learning breakdancing. I never got very good at it, but a couple of my friends actually were pretty at spinning and doing all the moves. I mean, some people just had the moves, and then of course the music was all for us at the time. It was just we were very, I guess, impressionable. Really was something special to us, of course, growing up with that. I don't know what the kids have to sort of it's definitely regurgitated and reinvented and still go all the rage / all the internet rage.
Oh yeah, we'll look at back in the day, 2 turntables and a microphone. You scratch, scratch, right? Now look what they got. They got the multi-tracks, multimedia mixers, EQ balancers, digital this, digital tracks that, digital. Now it's like a joystick, and I guess it has evolved, the hip hop, whatever, rap or whatever.
Oh, for sure.
Obviously there's certain parts of it that kind of maybe evolved into their own segment. Of course, hip hop, rap, pop culture is going to do that, but definitely the techno side of things, as far as like the turntable mixing and scratching. Wow. And just we're not talking about breakdancing, right? Okay, breakdancing and parachute pants. And then, I think back to, that was brand new when it first came out. That was brand new. Wooka, just scratching them.
Exactly.
Sending the tracks. And what has that evolved in now? The DJ, I guess you'd call it a DJ, how many different styles and funky, marshmallow, whoever popular, this or that, electro disco, so many things have evolved. From that, it's not just the Beastie Boys. 2 turntables and a microphone. Wooka.
I know, exactly. When I was in Los Angeles, there was a guy named I can't remember his real name right now. It may have been Sonny. It wasn't Sonny Bono, of course, but I think his first name was Sonny. So Skrillex actually was in the neighborhood, and he was in a low rent suit. He actually was sort of like pioneering some music. I think blanking on the name right now, so that just shows how out of it I am. But anyways, genres that pop up that sort of come out invented by people that spend a lot of time definitely so in their own little creative world working off of what other people have already got a hand to the cheers to the artists that spend time in the studio by themselves and the new next thing that becomes the
Oh yeah, I mean, well,
mainstream
think about
popular
it. Back
thing
in the
eventually.
day, you had to, find a studio, make a mixtape, go downtown. Oh, selling my mixtape, $3 or
Yeah,
whatever. Now
yeah,
you got
exactly.
Apple iTunes and YouTube, and you put up a couple clips and a couple songs, and next thing you know, you have 1 million viewers, 1 million downloads, or not.
I
I
know
have my little
exactly.
running with music, but it's definitely it's definitely a lot different from when we were kids. Just you holding up those VHS tapes, it's like, whoa, I remember
Yeah,
you had to rewind those things.
and that's what I like about them because you can actually stop it and press play again, and you're still where you left off. So you don't have to like, where was I? I mean, it's cool to have DVR and all that. Record off the online. I realize, like for example, with the satellite um, dish network commercials. So you're paying for essentially almost like cable, but you're movie, but you got to watch the commercials. So yeah, you can fast forward through commercials if you recorded it, but much farther ahead than we were when we had, watching regular television or something, record, So, anyways, I mean, the times they change pretty quickly. We've come so far, but not so far in our lifetime.
Well, yeah, I mean, everybody's got the wireless and the Wi-Fi and the digital and the internet now. And it's funny, you used to get the little Hulu. You used to have a cable box, right? When you first got cable, right?
Yeah.
Oh no, you got to have the cable box because now you can have more channels, right?
Right.
Remember, it had a little knob on it, up to 55 channels. Oh wow,
Right.
13 channels on the TV, 55 channels on the box. Oh, then
Yeah.
there's digital. Oh, the digital. Now you got digital box, 150 channels, 200 channels, whatever, right? Oh, now there's Hulu and Netflix, and you get this little tiny box now, 400 different channels, play on demand movies, play on demand TV
Yeah.
series, Netflix,
I know.
Disney Channel, Hulu. Oh, and then I got a TV, right? I got a TV here. I went to the store, I bought one. We got a secure. I haven't plugged the damn thing in, but it's mounted on the wall right there. You can see.
That's cool.
Anyway,
Yeah,
you
what's
turn
fun is
that thing on, and it automatically hooks up. It finds the internet. It goes, oh, put in your password. Okay, password. It goes, oh, what do you want to watch?
yeah.
You want to pay 10 different upgrades too? It's hilarious. You want to upgrade to Disney? That's 20 a month. You want to upgrade to Netflix? That's $19 a month. Right? Oh, you want the ESPN? So now you can. Whoa.
Yeah.
I watched the YouTube.
Yeah, exactly. No, there you go, man. That's what's up, guys. And I think that's what the kids of today, the ones that creators, of course, that create their own little YouTube channel, and whether they're just DJing or playing, like I think Paul Logan was one of those guys, right? Do you know that dude?
Yeah, I think that a lot of those they try different things. They're like, oh, this is the popular thing. Let me try it. And if they enjoy it, they do good. They make a hit song. Who knows?
But the cool thing is the creative element is back in the creator's hands, and they can create their own content, put it out there, and they don't have to go through to do it. They can do it on their own. So, cheers to the independent creators.
Hey, we are they.
Absolutely.
Cheers to us too. We're doing a funky little. What do we talk about? Who knows? Who cares?
Yeah.
Just brighten our day for a little bit. Come on. I haven't seen this guy besides online. I haven't seen this guy in 40 years?
40 years, yeah. It's like Aaron and I were in first grade to sixth grade, and then Aaron moved up. I stayed in Summerland until I was 34 years years old before I got the guts to move down to. That's another story. Well, cheers, man.
Good. All right, brother. We'll see you on Monday. Have a good week.
See
Remember, it's going to be Labor Day edition on Monday.
I know.
Labor Day edition.
Sounds good.
I don't know what time we're going to come in the morning, in the afternoon. Who knows?
Yeah, no, we'll be doing the morning thing. We'll just do it, make it comfortable because we're off on Monday. So there we go, All right, man. Have a great afternoon.
All right. See you Monday.
Cheers, buddy. See you Monday. Awesome.